God, my this Twitter account called Poo Crave. It's like a parody of Pop Crave.
Mm-hmm.
They posted something the other day when Timberlake got arrested, and they said that Molly, Truvada, and poppers were found in his system.
Yeah, I think I sent that to you.
But it was fake, and everyone believed it. Like it went like...
I believed it. I was going to ask you today, actually, if that was fake or real.
And it wasn't, and their account got suspended. It got taken down. Clearly, and it says, like, it's a parody account, but Timberlake, the powers that be...
It looked like Pop Crave to me. Like, I didn't even see that it was Poo
I know,
Crave.
but I'm like, Je suis Poo.
Je suis Poo
Je suis
Crave.
Poo.
Justice for Poo Crave.
Truly, the powers got...
I don't know, because I did think that was, like, totally real. Like, I could not even tell any difference. I thought it was a Pop Crave thing.
Poo Crave said they got me, gal. Timberlake is definitely in the Illuminati.
He, totally believe, has media people that would shut down any sort of thing like that.
Well, his attorney said that he's looking forward to vigorously defending Justin. I'm like, okay. Basically alluding that it didn't happen. But I'm like, just take the loss.
Look, you fucked up.
You fucked up. It's okay.
It happens.
It's actually not that big of a deal.
It's just really not.
It's just funny that it happened to him.
It literally is like the least big deal of all deals. But like getting a DUI, like you're just kind of like, if I hear someone got a DUI, I'm like, well, hopefully you deal with that. Like, I don't care. It's not going to make me judge you unless you're like working for me and you're getting multiple DUIs.
I think the fact that he's like in his 40s and he's just kind of like a dork, like he's like kind of just has...
It's a loser thing
It's a loser
happen,
energy.
But you just deal with it. And like, the thing is, like, I was like, if I was working with someone, they got a DUI, I want to hear about it once, and then I never want to hear about your DUI again. Like, you just now have to deal with it silently. Yeah. And like, you figure it out.
Let me
don't bring it into my world.
Let me get the exact quote, because it was like, okay, this lawyer is unhinged. He has a lot to say about it. He says, Edward Burke, Timberlake's lawyer, says he looks forward to vigorously defending Mr. Timberlake on these allegations. Then he said, I will have a lot to say at the appropriate time, but I'm currently awaiting full discovery from the district attorney's office.
Okay, to that lawyer, you're a messy bitch. Like, shut up, actually.
It reminds me, and this was actually an iconic moment when Uma Thurman, when they were like, what do you have to say about the Me Too movement? And she said, I have a lot to say. And when I do, you will hear it. That is a best use of that. This is...
Yeah, someone needs to tell him that only actresses can say that kind of thing.
I have a lot to say. He's in a place of holding a press conference.
Yeah, I'm like, well...
It's really not a big deal. It's not...
It isn't. Just deal with it.
Just deal with it. It was a loser moment. You can redeem yourself, and you can like make fun of it and make it like kind of cunt and like, okay, yeah, it happened. Mm-hmm. And like maybe your messiness can be turned into like a redemption, the true redemption, which is going to be hard with him. But I think having a lawyer be like, we will be looking into these allegations. It's like, okay, we all saw it.
You were
loaded
jailed.
on martini. You went to jail. We saw
the jail. You wore handcuffs. Like, what allegations are you speaking of?
It's just, it's crazy.
It's a take no responsibility ass DUI.
Well, it's also just like we're in this era where celebrities now you cannot criticize celebrities like in what you write or like art, profiles. Everything has to be like, and I think there are writers who do really great profiles, but I feel like celebrities now they only want like puff pieces about them. Do you know what I mean? And it's like they have teams that just like really manipulate the narrative. And it's like, this is a human moment. It's fine. Whatever. You made a dumb decision, but you don't have to fight it and be like, it didn't happen, and gaslight us all into thinking it. You know what I mean? It's like, celebrities now are so afraid of being canceled and like having their names tarnished even more now because of social media. And they truly cannot handle an ounce of bad press anymore. Or they implode, or like say they're leaving the internet, or you know what I mean, like Lizzo or something.
Yeah, then fucking leave.
But I'm just saying, it's like no one everyone's skin is so thin now in the celebrity world.
Well, I think that if I were Justin Timberlake and everyone was laughing at me because I got a DUI and like I knew that public opinion, I wonder if he knows that like public opinion online is bad.
I think he does.
Well, then I would ask myself, what have I done to contribute to this? Where could I change my behavior or my persona?
Yeah.
Not that you can control whether people like you or not, but like if everyone's laughing at you and celebrating a downfall, you probably have something to do with that.
I don't think that's asking a lot of someone.
I know, but
like
I'm just saying.
I think no. I think in an ideal world he would have some my year of rest and introspection, but he won't.
But he has a tour.
He's at world tour.
World tour.
And he's got to make that money. Jessica's out there making money.
Jessica's out there with a sharp bob.
With a sharp bob on set next day, acting like everything's fine.
Out in these streets.
So he needs to follow suit.
A Boeing 737 plunged within 500 feet of an Oklahoma neighborhood.
I thought this would hit home for you.
Wow.
Southwest Airlines Flight 4069 was 9 miles away from the Will Rogers World Airport.
Oh, Yukon. So not Oklahoma City. Sorry,
it dived
to
in between 400 and 500 feet as it flew over a high school in the city of Yukon. Holy shit. Doorbell camera footage showed the Boeing 737 MAX hovering above houses before it flies out of frame.
Here's the camera footage. Wait.
Fuck. This is my nightmare.
I need the video.
I love a doorbell. Okay.
Pause for ad.
Pause for ads on Daily Mail.
Daily Mail and their ads, truly.
You know what? And I suffer through it for them.
I quit and don't go back for weeks.
The FAA is investigating after a close call with a Southwest Airlines.
I'm her.
Above an Oklahoma City suburb this week.
News 4's Spencer Humphrey is here with why aviation.
Have you been to Yukon?
I don't think so.
Buzz in the burbs.
Boeing 737 MAX 8 flew so low over Yukon, it triggered an alarm system at Will Rogers World Airport's control tower. And now the FAA wants to know why.
Here we go.
Enough to jolt Spencer Basoko right out of bed.
And I just
That's it.
This video from one of his neighbors caught the moments a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 buzzed the sleepy suburb of Yukon.
That's it.
Damn.
These drama queens. Fucking Yukon.
Boeing once again. I think there was a.
This is a very like we're grasping at Boeing straws.
You think?
Miss me with the 500 feet discourse.
Really?
I don't care.
I feel like that's
don't give
pretty
a
low.
shit. I don't care. I don't care.
Well, it kind of reminds me of that crash in
in
Queens and that like right after 9/11 when they crashed into a bunch of houses. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was sad. Well, ping me when they crash.
Wait, let me
like fucking helicopters fly low over this building all the time. You don't hear me calling up the Daily Mail giving an interview.
I mean, Boeing chief admits the company has retaliated against whistleblowers. I know it happens, he says.
That's not a smart statement after 2 whistleblowers have died. A woman switched up her antidepressants and ended up with such severe psychosis she thought she was a Viking princess. I love that.
Who among us hasn't?
I know. She developed severe psychosis that made her think she was a Viking princess pregnant with a royal baby.
Okay.
Wow. Sounds trippy. Said I was having really vivid dreams. My arm would go up and bang against the wall. That would wake me up.
The headline that I read was Mum of 5.
Oh, she thought she was a Viking princess after watching the show Vikings.
Oh.
Psychosis is so interesting to me.
At some point, I thought I'd given birth. I was cradling my coat thinking it was a baby. I didn't think there was anything wrong with me at the time. Wow.
Dude, name the antidepressant, though.
Yeah, what is... Damn. Yeah, it is wild to
Oh,
like...
shit.
What?
she became catatonic. That's really bad.
But she's fine now, right?
She went into hospital. Oh, she got 5150'd. And then in 2019. And that's when she became catatonic.
Damn.
And then she came out in April, diagnosed with bipolar. She was treated for the next 3 years and was able to recover. She had a son in March 2021, but then a new psychiatrist thought she'd gotten over her bipolar and she was taken off of her medications in 2022 and her psychosis returned.
And that's when she became a Viking princess?
Oh, so her new therapist was like, girl, you're good.
Yeah.
And then she had to be back 5150'd.
That therapist needs a talking to.
Jade is cool.
I
she
like
says,
Jade.
I thought people were hacking my phone and listening in on phone calls. I thought I was going to be the next Queen of England.
Look,
this is fun. This is
not
true.
No.
This is kind of like, it's just fascinating because it sounds like being on drugs. Like to me, it sounds like if you take like a horrific dose of acid or something. I've never even reached a point of that. I guess like smoking salvia once I reached a point of true
Really?
absolute hallucination.
I never did salvia.
It lasts for like 30 seconds though.
Oh,
this
so it's
is
like a whip it.
Yeah, but it's like a full blown like
You see things.
fully saw
Whoa.
like fully was in a new world kind of
Really?
hallucination. Yeah, it was wild.
Like you woke up in the chocolate factory.
Like I took a puff of salvia and it happens like as soon as you start exhaling. And as soon as I started exhaling, Goofy popped up in like the
Stop
corner.
it.
I'm not even joking.
What the fuck?
Goofy goes, come on, and took the corner of my field of vision, pulled it up like it was 2-dimensional, and then I was floating in outer space with like every cartoon character I've ever known.
Wait, what the fuck?
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Like
a full
No, I believe you. I'm just like, what the fuck?
It was crazy.
That is insane to me.
It was crazy. Every cartoon character I'd ever known,
What?
like, floating by me as I floated through outer space, and then we all floated towards this huge diamond that was
Stop.
turning around, and every facet of the diamond had a scene out of my life on
You're
it.
lying.
I'm not lying.
Holy shit.
It was to
Wait,
this day.
What?
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
I'm literally like emotional. I'm like, what? I can't even.
You go full hallucination.
That is crazy to me because I was just like a speedhead, but I never did any kind of psychedelics or like, I mean, I had bad trips when I smoked weed a few times, but like, I never did.
No, this was a full-blown alternate universe.
That is crazy because I always think like, I feel like hallucinations and people I've talked to like on shrooms, they're like, sometimes it's not, you don't really see things. It's just like things are just
the
like
edges
undulating.
get like, yeah.
And someone said in Midsommar that was the most accurate.
That's very accurate
But
for like
so
a
I-
drug.
so
Even
it-
acid, when I've taken acid, it's not like, I'm
Yeah.
not like hallucinating.
So in my head, I'm always like, okay, that is how I imagine psychedelics are, where everything's just kind of like wavy and undulating. But to know that some of it's like literally like, come on,
he was like, come on. And then my whole world went from like,
why
he took
cartoons?
I don't know. I truly don't know. But it was like having a dream, a waking dream.
How long did it feel like?
It felt like,
Hours?
no, it felt like about 30 seconds to maybe 2 minutes or something like that. It was, and you can't move either is a thing. You're
You
like
were just-
essentially just paralyzed with your eyes maybe kind of open.
You're like, talk to me.
yeah, it's full talk to me.
That is crazy.
That was cool. It was like worth it. And then I tried one more time that same day, but I was like, I want music on. And that fucked me up. Like I was back in space, but I was just like cartwheeling and like I didn't like it. And then I was like, I'm never smoking salvia again.
Well, I know like ayahuasca, you go full like,
You go full halluce.
you like, yeah, you follow like there's like an eagle or something. You know what I mean? Like you go into like another dimension.
I'm open. Like
Remember when Chelsea Handler did it with Jenny Mullen and they like puked?
Yeah, I think you shit and puke yourself.
Yeah.
But then you have people there to like cradle you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open.
I think you have like an ayahuasca doula.
I think there are like multiple shamans. I did like a light therapy thing once where you could listen to, it's like strobes of light that make all these patterns while your eyes are closed, and it's like really trippy. And it's supposed to be good for like depression and like meditative. And one of the soundtracks that you can use was like sound from an ayahuasca, like a native ayahuasca ceremony or something, and It sounded pretty crazy.
But back to Jade, I'm just like, you know, she seems like she's doing better.
Yeah, I'm like, girlfriend, you've been through it.
But I'm obsessed. I like, maybe she probably would have been a better Queen of England than King Charles.
I like Jade. Just like,
she's a good girl.
We have to like end psychosis stigma. To me, like, psychosis is just like a fun, flirty moment that some people experience, and like, I want to hear about it.
I think it's good to talk about it. I think it happens more than people.
It happens a lot. It's like
think,
very common.
I think it's good that she's, even if she's speaking to the Daily Mail, who like makes it into like a salacious thing. I like that she's kind of describing it, because some people might read that and be like, oh my God, that happened to me.
Yeah, and look, like in this day and age, I think you're lucky to be 5150'd.
Yeah.
And you figure it out, and then you move on.
I had like coke psychosis once.
I believe that. What did it?
Why do you believe that?
Because I know that people who do a lot of coke get coke psychosis.
I thought someone I was with was someone else completely, and I was like crying to him about something that happened to the person that I thought he was, and he kept being like, I'm not this person. He was a guy I was like, who wanted to like fuck me, and we were like at an after party, and I was gonna go home with him.
You were a little coke confused.
But I was doing a lot of blow, and I was really drunk, and I think it mixed, and I was just I was 23 or 24, and I kept being like, no, and he was like, I'm not him, and I literally thought it was him. Yeah. And then the next day, he was a therapist, and he texted me and was like, you should probably get help.
Love that. You were like, anyways.
But he came home with me.
It didn't stop?
No.
Nothing stops the gays from getting it in. Not even like a psychotic 23-year-old who literally does not know who you are.
Yeah.
You're still like, okay.
I was cute. You know? He was like, all right. I'll fuck him. He's just vibing. But that was scary. And it's drugs. Be careful out there.
Drugs mess you up.
Drugs get the...
Just crazy that your own brain can fuck you up as much as like salvia.
Yeah, I mean, that is chilling. I'm literally like and also like the Looney Tunes ass, like...
No, the pulling up my three-dimensional world like a two-dimensional curtain.
It's like you're...
into space. I'll never forget that. Goofy is an important person to me.
You have some kind of... What is that called? Where you have like a...
He's my like altar.
Yeah, or you're like... Yeah.
It was cool. It was a meaningful hallucination.
But that feels like it was storyboarded. Like that, you know what I mean? It's so like on the nose hallucination where you're like, whoa! Like,
I know, it was crazy, but that's just, I guess, what was resting in my subconscious, or I needed to be shown.
It's kind of nice.
My life was like a diamond.
Okay.
Every little facet of the diamond having like a scene of my life, and it's just rotating in outer space with all these cartoon characters.
I'd say you can that's a positive...
That was a great. Like, that's better than thinking everyone in the room is like the devil.
Yeah.
I've never had had like a I saw the devil moment. Thank God. I don't want to have that.
No.
Or if I'm gonna have that, someone needs to be there to like smack it out of me.
Like repulsion.
Yeah, like I'm down maybe to think that everyone's the devil for like a couple minutes. Like never say never to your own devil hallucination, but I don't want to be like alone.
I've been at parties where I'm like, everyone here is...
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like
fully convinced.
People, they like have one bad trip and they like think everyone's the devil.
Yeah, we're like devil's advocate where the woman's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that never happens.
Me too.
But I'm proud of Jade for being honest.
She's
and
coming forward.
She's coming forward, and I wish her well on her healing journey. Should we get into the DC girls? Or do you want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Chat GPT or black hole?
I like Chat GPT. And then we can do Princess Kalina and Bulgaria, the bodybuilder.
We'll do that
Did you
next
see her?
time. No.
Okay.
Do you want to do that instead?
We'll do it the next episode. That's because I think we can spend the whole time talking about it.
ChatGPT passes the famous Turing test, suggesting the AI bot has intelligence equivalent to a human.
So these are all like these scientists keep claiming these things about AI, and I am very like 50-50 with all the AI breaking news, you know? So I think a lot of it is like maybe exaggeration or
planted.
Big AI like trying to put out propaganda kind of. But obviously the Turing test, if anyone doesn't know, claims an AI should be considered truly intelligent if people can't tell if they're speaking to a human or machine. Alan Turing, famous gay who got lobotomized or killed himself. They were going to lobotomize him, so he killed himself. Great story. But now ChatGPT is apparently passed the test.
With who? Not passing my test based on reading these texts.
Replicating this famous test, the researchers asked 500 participants to speak with 4 different agents, 3 AIs and 1 human. The AIs were ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 3.5, 2 models behind the popular chatbot from AI, and a 1960s era chat program called Eliza or Eliza. Participants were placed in a chat room and told that they either needed to convince the other person they were a human or figure out who they were speaking to. Participants that were then left to chat for 5 minutes before being asked whether they thought they were speaking to a computer or human, why they thought that, and how confident they were. So they had like a little like text exchange. And then while the outdated Eliza fooled participants only 22% of the time, of course, ChatGPT 3.5 passed undetected in 50% of conversations. The more advanced iteration, ChatGPT 4, did even better, with participants labeling it as a human 54% of the time. So ChatGPT is
kind of passing, but if you're looking at like our grading system, it's still failing.
Totally, but it's still
also like, who are these interrogators? If you ask like an idiot to come in and ask, like, I believe it could fool 54% of Americans. Right. Eliza,
poor Eliza.
Justice for
J-Sweet Eliza. So I guess they're saying like in some cases, I think they need to be a little more specific with their claims. I think they can say ChatGPT in some cases has passed the Turing test,
but has still overall gotten an F.
Yeah, 54% is still an F.
Yeah, fucking call me when it's like 89.
Yeah,
then we'll talk.
Yeah,
even 75, I would be like, oh, okay.
100%.
54, I'm like, I think I could probably detect a robot versus a human. Also, like, that's bad for any sort of Americans or the participants in this test, because basically, you know, like, I can always tell when I'm getting a text from like a scammer.
Yeah, they're like, hi, it's
Is this
Susan?
Jenny?
Yeah.
Tell Jenny I'll be late to the party today.
Tell Jenny I'll meet her for golf.
I'm
like, Jenny's a lesbian. But I'm like, yeah, I think it's definitely making progress, and I think, you know, we can revisit this in 10 years.
Yeah.
But right now it's still paltry.
Yes, indeed it is. And I'm like, talk to me when the AI bots are cooks and maids.
You're obsessed.
That's all I want.
I know.
Who wouldn't want that? Call me when they can do laundry.
They can be your ayahuasca duo.
No, I don't like that. I don't trust them. I don't trust them in that situation.
Good night forever.
They wouldn't know.
They would go, sleep now.
They would smother me with a pillow.
Or they'd say like,
I don't trust them when I'm in an incapacitated state to take care of me. I want a human to do that.
They'll tell you everything you're seeing is real. And
they would take advantage of the situation or be tempted to, and I don't want to give them that opportunity. But I would love to give them the opportunity to cook me meals and do my laundry and clean my house.
We know who would love AI help.
Tareq Salahi.
Mary.
Mary needs an AI robot.
She does. I've grown fond of her very much.
Mm-hmm. I've grown fond of all these women in their own special ways.
So this is the episode 3 of Real Housewives of DC.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing that?
Yeah.
I'm Carey.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to
Sexy Unique
Podcast. Beltway Bitches. I was kind of planning on just like letting that
slide.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we started it for this, so we got to see it through.
Okay.
But I just like, I love that you were immediately like, we're not doing it anymore.
Well, I don't want to, if it's bad, I don't want to do it.
It's not bad. It was just a thing that was like, it was an interesting thing you did that I thought was unique. And I didn't want to just shoot it down. So I let it ride. And then I've let it ride for years.
I appreciate that. But now I'm kind of like, it's silly and we shouldn't do it.
We can do it for the rest of DC. No, we're going to, because we started it and now it is what it is.
Okay. Well, I'll just confidently go forth with this weird thing that I started.
Basically, we were talking yesterday and someone was telling us like, we were talking about podcasting, whatever, and
we have some things in the kitchen that we're cooking up.
Yeah.
So we were planning some stuff. We've got some stuff happening. It's all good. You'll know about it in time.
But we were talking about like the cold open, and they were asking like, so yeah, like the cold open happens like 30 minutes into the episode, and I was just like, yeah, like one day Carey started doing that and I just didn't have the heart to like shoot it down. So then it just became a thing. But like, I agree. I honored the fact that like, that's not typically how anyone podcast. That's like not a podcasting thing.
True. I mean,
but you march to the beat of your own drum.
You can equate it to like one of those movies where the titles come in like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
and I
we
started
do things a little differently here.
I started treating it like that. And I do think it was like a funny shtick, but where it originated from was, I think from you just deciding that is what that's a classic podcast thing.
Well, I made it a cult classic.
You made it classic.
Club classic doll.
Mm-hmm.
And now people do it at the shows with us.
I know.
But you know what? But this might be the last time we do it, because now I'm like,
we'll see.
enjoy it while it lasts. So episode 3 begins with
Kat working on inbox full. Inbox full, darling.
Kat is at her dining room table with her ghostwriter, who's like, or her
/editor. I was unclear.
Kat's like, oh god, it's just so much going on, and I have to finish it. Deadline's in 2 weeks, isn't it? She's like, yeah, 2 weeks away. And she's like, oh god.
Deadline for what? Did she like sell this book proposal and then get an advance to write her memoir? Is inbox full? This is actually a bigger question that I have.
Is it a book?
Is it a book that exists?
We'll see.
Oh, I think it is.
No. Should we get it?
Oh my god. Inbox full.
Inbox full.
Paperback. It's on Kindle Unlimited. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free.
Wow.
It's real. Came out January 28th, 2011 by Catherine Ashley.
That's after all that. That's the photo she chose.
Inbox full.
Inbox full.
Be careful what you wish for.
Cheeky.
Let's see what people rated it. Someone said, a great read. You can't put down.
Maybe it's really good.
Someone said, zzz. What was the question? Oh, yes. Did I enjoy the book? Loved Catherine, the Real Housewives of DC. Found her refreshingly honest and defiantly empowered. Hopefully she got it from her long journey of writing a book. To be honest, I never finished it. I couldn't read one more sentence of how miserable she was. It never ended. So many repeat scenarios, on and on. Got to where it sounded like a whining child. I also don't know who did the final read or editing, but I could have sworn there were so many misspelled words, incomplete sentences, that I started to wonder if that's how proper English is spoken. I'm pretty sure it isn't. In any case, I found it, well, to answer the question, I deleted it without finishing it. Sorry, Catherine. Well, then how can you give a fucking review?
Yeah.
You didn't even fucking read it, bitch.
You lost that one.
They said inbox full.
Inbox full. They were like, she was speaking in Old English. Weef.
Inboxe.
Real House Weef of
Fool.
DC.
Well, congrats
We're gonna get
to
it.
her.
I might get the book.
You should get it.
Inbox full. Well, I
It's
still want to know.
$63 for a paperback.
63?
Yeah, probably because there's one left in stock. You guys, someone needs to get this book because it's like the last existing copy of Inbox Fool.
I'm not paying $63.
We'll get a Kindle Unlimited.
Okay.
It's $0.
I'm obsessed. I still want to know what it is.
Book 1 of 2.
What does Inbox Full mean, though? Like, what is she referencing?
Inbox Fool Part 2.
The divorce.
Okay, this is a better... Whoa, she came back with a sequel in 2012.
Looks like Diana.
Mm-hmm.
A sequel?
Wow.
The Gift?
The Gift. This paperback is only $19.99.
What happens in this one?
A 7-month whirlwind romance between London and Washington, D.C. leads Kat and her young daughters to move stateside, where her dashing new husband is a photographer assigned to the White House. Within months, she's fast-tracked into a hit reality TV show, The Real Housewives of D.C. But Kat's dream of living happily ever after with Prince Charming is about to be shattered into pieces. With her husband on the Obama campaign trail, a series of odd events and stranger communications have her piecing together a macabre jigsaw puzzle of the demons that haunted him and other lives. Behind his mask are dark ghosts, and while the cameras are rolling, she desperately tries to keep her new family together until the day she realizes she can never fix him. As her marriage collapses and the show is over, Kat is left totally heartbroken, homeless, and on her knees thousands of miles from home. What, she's sucking dick in the streets?
She's in DuPont's circle.
Mouthful. But giving up is not an option. This is the journey to a newfound reserve of strength, an extraordinary story about celebrity and fame, love and betrayal, reality and perception, all told with Kat O'Mahony's trademark honesty and humor. No bollocks.
Trademark honesty? Wait, I'm dead. What macabre web did she uncover?
Let's see if the reviews mention it. This is incredible. Someone says 5 stars. After reading Inbox Full several times over, this is true. The biggest Inbox Full head has weighed in. They said, my God, Inbox Full. I simply must go back to the beginning and start again. Several times they read Inbox Full. And having had a glimpse into how Kat's life had transpired during her time as part of the Real Housewives franchise, I could not wait to read the continuation of her story.
She probably wrote those. Come on.
After reading Inbox Full
multiple
times over.
Imagine being on like a plane and looking over and someone's reading Inbox Full. I'd be like,
where'd you get
we're going
that?
down. And then I'd be like, give it to me. Give it to me.
Show it to me.
Show me to me.
Regarding the experience, or dare I say, nightmare Kat and her girls have lived through, has changed how I look at the world and how I look at myself.
She wrote that. I'm sorry. Right? I mean, I guess she has like a legion of stans.
A legion. This has 51 reviews. Inbox Full has 96.
How many comments do books usually get?
I mean, like a bestseller, like a huge book would have like
thousands,
5 figures, 6 figures. Like I think over 500 is like a pretty, like you did pretty good. But
wow.
like 96 is a bit.
God bless her.
God bless them.
What? I wonder where she is now.
Where is she now? Someone said 1 star. She has a great sense of humor and is very opinionated on life. Oh. Kat is not a prolific writer, and the email style writing is choppy and rushed. A heartfelt, in-depth look at her experiences would have made for a much more interesting and personal experience. She's a great sense of humor and is very opinionated in life, yet none of this was captured in the book. I would not recommend it.
That was written definitely by Michaele.
Stacie.
Or Stacie. So back to this. So Kat is like, fuck, I have to edit this. She's like, you have 2 weeks.
She's a hard partier, someone said.
Really?
Someone 2 stars, poorly written, typos, and then it just ended. I like the author's persona and will probably read another. However, the hard partying is a worry. Feel sorry for her children.
She does seem a little like...
She's partying.
She seems like a real cig smoker.
Who's this editor who didn't proof anything? Because everyone's like, this book is inbox full of typos.
I don't know.
Wow.
So this editor is like, you have 2 weeks to hand in the draft or the manuscript or whatever the fuck. And she's like, oh God, I have so much pressure.
I have to do a photo shoot and the publishers are positively adamant that it be me on the cover. They want a Sex and the City feel. This isn't a Sex and the City book.
She's like, it's Sex and the City is the opposite of who I am. I simply can't even begin to imagine doing something like that. It sounds awful.
Can't even muster even a moment of excitement for Sex and the City.
Absolutely
oh my God.
Not, absolutely not.
God, inbox full.
Inbox full.
Stacie is meeting her friends, Jerry and Lauren, at their winery.
Mm-hmm.
The only black-owned winery in all of the East Coast, all of Virginia.
And it's the wine that Obama served at
the Governor's Ball.
The Governor's
a true
Ball.
winery. A real winery.
A
winemaker's winery.
And they're really excited. And then lo and behold, Salahis pull up in their white ass limo.
That is a horseman of the apocalypse, is the Salahi's white stretch limo.
I'm obsessed with Stacie and Jason's like macabre fascination with the Salahis. And like they sort of just invite them because they're like they're fun and silly, but they also are like
they come?
They just want to know, like they're just fascinated by them. And I'm like, that's me. Like I relate to Stacie and Jason so much, and like, let's just invite him because it'll be weird.
It's a fun bonding thing that you can do with your partner is to invite like another bizarre couple along to your Paris trip to just like see what happens.
And so it pulls up and you hear Stacey's friend go, the Jerry and Lauren bias. You hear them go, oh, look at the white limo. And they come out and Stacey's like, damn, like we're all wearing like jeans and like casual, and Michaele's wearing like a Beth Dutton
cape
full autumn.
They're in like a suit and a cape.
I know.
Tareq goes, I'd love from one winery owner to another present you with a bottle of wine from our winery, and they never take it out of the bag. I was like, he literally just like
bought it
at the nearest grocery store and put a sticker on it.
They're like, thank you so much. Welcome.
It's a beer.
I know.
It's a can of Coors Light.
They leave them. I think it's fall. I thought it was winter, but I think it's like October.
I think it's going in between like fall and winter.
Yeah. And so they sort of give them a tour around the actual like functioning grapes.
And they go and have a wine tasting, and Tareq just explains wine to Stacie and Jason.
They're like, thank you. And then they start talking about Obama, and Tareq's like, you know, I'm actually really interested to hear his two-state solution for Palestine and Israel.
I was like, well, here, spoiler alert, didn't work out well.
I was like, okay.
They asked Michaele what she thinks, and she goes, you know, I think he's all about bringing us together, and there will be some mindsets that aren't like that, but that's okay. That's what makes us American. And really, Obama is ultimately about pulling the red and the blue and making it red, white, and blue. And I was like, what have you even said?
You know who she reminds me of? Tara Reid.
It's Tara Reid.
It's Tara Reid.
It's a little Barlow.
Kim Richards.
So they're like, He's about pulling the red.
He's about pulling the red and the white and the blue together.
Pulling the red and the blue, and then making it red, white, and blue.
He's all about bringing us together, and I'm just really excited to see how it's going. And they're like,
okay, that was a word salad.
And then Stacey's like, Jason's brother randomly has the #1 single in Paris right now, and we're going to see him perform.
We need like a spin-off reality show about Jason's brother Adam.
I want to see. Why isn't he should be on Vanderpump Villa.
I know.
I was truly fascinated by the story. So his younger brother, he's like much younger than him, it seems, left home
DC
at like 18 and just like moved to Paris without speaking a lick of French
to make it in the music industry.
And now he's the #1 pop singer rapper in Paris,
giving a full-blown concert to like 500, 1,000 people.
Yeah. So he made it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna go and we're so excited, we're leaving in a few days. And Michaele's like, you're going to Paris then? Maybe we'll go.
And they go, you should come.
Yeah,
like you can come. That would be fun. And Tareq goes, you want to go to Paris? And she goes, oh, be careful. He might be looking into this. And she goes, here's to Paris. And they're like, we're going to Paris.
And then Stacie in her confession was like, I'm interested to see if like they can pull this off in 3 days.
She's like, they're real ballers if they come to Paris on a 3 days notice.
She goes, don't tempt him because he'll actually do it.
She knows too that he will.
He will. And she's like, fuck, we can't because we have $2,000 to our name.
Less. We have like creditors, like the FBI is like chasing us.
And she's like, don't tell him, don't tempt him because he'll actually do it.
I think Michaele is in a private hell.
I think she's an informant.
And is trying to like hold it together.
Yeah.
But then I was like looking on Reddit the other day at like a Real Housewives of DC thread, and someone had mentioned, and I think I remember hearing this when it happened, that when she left him for the frontman, for the guitarist of Journey, Tareq filed a missing persons report because he like didn't know where she was, and then he realized like, oh, she's left me for another man.
No, she was
fled
like,
in the dead of night.
Yeah, it was like crawl out the window, kind of like I think she was truly a prisoner in some way, and my other conspiracy theory is that she's like an informant with the FBI, like, and she's just like spying on him. She's made a plea deal.
She does have.
She's constantly.
She's like Matt Damon in that Scorsese movie,
The Departed.
Mm-hmm.
She's like looking into the future. Like every time you see her, she's not there. She's looking ahead, and I'm sure she has the Journey guy in her back pocket, just waiting, biding her time, and then something activated in the middle of the night. He was basically. I feel like my fantasy is that he was like, it's an open invitation. Whenever you're ready, I'm waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're my true love in life.
You're my woman.
And she was like, okay, but I'm gonna see if this like rotting vineyard works out. And then when she realized the grapes were not coming, she literally activated in the middle of the night, packed a bag, flew out the window, and ran through the vineyards and like hitchhiked. Made her way to wherever the fuck the guy lives.
To like New Jersey.
I think he's from New Jersey.
Sounds about right.
And he showed up at his door at dawn and was like, hey baby, I'm here.
It's you and me now.
And then he was like, all right, let's go on tour and here's $1 million.
And you see when she's like dancing at the Paris show that she really is like groupie girl.
Yeah.
She comes alive at a concert.
So we get to Mary and she's out to dinner with Lynda. And
Lynda's having a big old fashion show.
Oh yeah.
At Bloomingdale's or something. She's having like
Barney's.
Some sort of trunk show for like raising money for something or the other. Again, not a real modeling show.
Mm-mm.
But Mary shows up ready to down champagne and talk shit. And I love as the models are strutting down the hall.
The floor.
They're walking the floor. Lynda just looks at all of them. She goes, we have to get her to slow down. She goes, we have to get her to eat.
She's obsessed with saying women are too thin, and then but also saying that they have fat necks.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's
In Lynda's world, you can be too thin and too fat at the same time.
She's a mystery to me.
The total mystery. They talk about Michaele, and Lynda keeps calling Michaele Michaela.
I know.
She'll never not call her Michaela.
And she starts talking about the bad wine and how they're going out of business. And Mary goes, they do have beautiful reds. She goes, I love their reds. Their reds are beautiful.
Their reds are actually really good. They have a beautiful red. I was like, well, leave it to old wino Mary to know.
She's literally Chablis.
She's the original Chablis.
She's Chablis to the T.
They have beautiful reds.
I do love their reds, Lynda.
Their reds are actually really good. She's glug-glugging. The reds, I also just don't believe that any red that Mary's had has been a red from a wine shop with a new label put onto it.
Yeah. I mean, the next episode gets more into it, but like it's a total fraud, the whole thing. So
Lynda goes, I'm just so worried about Michaela. I mean, it was different. She used to be more centered and 10 pounds heavier. Why do you want her to be so heavy?
She's like the witch in Hansel and Gretel.
She's trying to fatten her up
so she can eat her.
It is cannibalism coded.
She's a little too fixated, and she goes, Michaela, I know she has a good heart deep down. She's a good soul, but I think she's being, which I agree with.
I agree with that read
I think
too.
She's basically like she's been distorted and corrupted by Tareq.
His energy is,
he's the worst.
Yeah,
Tark,
as you called him last episode. Tark. Tark's energy is sinister. He looks violent. He looks angry. He comes across as someone that might like kill you for the insurance money.
Oh yeah, he's like he would do anything.
Like he's battling with his mom. We'll get there. Stacie and John are packing for Paris. Jason. Talking kids, talking travel plans. And Tareq and Michaele are packing in like a fake house.
Michaela's like, okay. It's like dark out. I'm like, is it night or is it morning? I'm trying to figure it out.
But their house has like, I was like, this is not where you live. Like you brought clothes into a fake house did you notice like the overhead lights are on, but there are no lamps anywhere. There's only like random pieces of furniture.
I think it is their house, but they just I think their house is like, it's like empty.
It's a flop house.
Yeah. I feel like it's like one of those things where you could like flick it and it would fall over. It feels like a facade. Like the house is just like a set house that you see at like.
They moved into
Sears.
It for the show.
Yeah, it's a show house. Like it just doesn't feel real. It feels like a set.
But even like all the clothes, I was like, these didn't come. You like don't have a closet. This isn't a house that someone lives in. Like. Lives their lives in.
I'm like, your suitcase is already packed because you don't live in a house, you live in a hotel.
Michaele also has, I hate to say this, but I eagle-eyed a fake Louis Vuitton Steven Sprouse bag from the early 2000s.
Damn.
And I clocked it because I look at those on the Real often.
You went.
And I said, oh girl, no.
You went like
oh
this.
No. I paused. Say it ain't so. Oof.
That's bad.
I really didn't
like
like
that you were able to. I mean, if
I was very much able to clock. I was like, is that just like a different designer and like not did their version of this? And then I paused and looked closer and I was like, oh no, that's just a full knockoff.
Oof.
My lady.
Charles is.
Tareq goes.
Oh.
Where?
I'll let you.
Gerline.
I'm gonna let you. Sorry.
I'm gonna let you finish.
There you go.
Tareq goes, how many bags are you? He's taking. I believe that everything he owns can fit into a small like gym bag.
Oh yeah. He's like kind of sniping at her for how much luggage she's taking.
He's also like a man, like he could flee at any time.
Yeah.
Like go overseas or something.
And she said, I'll up you and flee forever.
Mm-hmm.
Do they fly like I bet they fly first class, but
I mean, I think they are spending money because then they stay at a nice hotel in Paris, and I'm like, this hotel has to cost.
Oh yeah, on that street, I'm not gonna pronounce it.
Champs-Élysées
or whatever.
But Tareq's like, let's make this just a laid back trip, like maybe 2 bags at most. And she goes, two bags, okay, 2, 1, 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I love you. And they're always kissing.
She was, I love you.
I don't like it. I just tried to scroll up on my own paper like an iPad.
Old school.
Lynda and Kat meet to just chat about Kat's wild book in Boxful.
In Boxful, it's a lot of stories, a lot of things, a lot of anecdotes. I've had some wild times.
Lynda goes, I could never write a book. Oh my God. I hate putting, this was also, I was like, red flag. She goes, I don't like to put anything in writing because it could be used against me.
Damn. The people that come on these shows are just they're always constantly in a place of litigation and fearing. Like these are, if you are constantly in that place and you're not successful enough where you don't have to do the Real Housewives of DC, you're a broken person. Like you're on the run.
Used against you. I'm also like, don't be like the person in charge of like a lot of young women's careers and say that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't want
in like a non-modeling city, Washington D.C. Mm-hmm. She goes, "What's your book about, anyways?" And Kat goes, "Falling out of love with my husband, falling in love with a married man, hilarious escapades."
She has so many escapades. You don't even you wouldn't even imagine the amount of things I've gotten into. So many escapades.
Many escapades.
Hilarious
escapades.
Hilarious. Absurd. Just me rounding about the town.
Did every single woman divorce their husbands after the show?
Yeah, they did.
I love that.
Lynda and Abon just broke up, but...
Yeah, but Mary and Rich...
Stacie and Jason.
Oh.
Yeah. Kat and...
Charles.
Michaele and...
Tareq.
All of them.
Wow.
The curse of DC.
Mary is at lunch with Rich, and this is how you know that, like...
Their days are numbered?
Yeah, it's because she goes, "Did you notice I did a little...
Highlighting?
And he doesn't notice.
He goes, "Now that you're telling me about it, I notice."
Which is a lie.
Mm-mm.
And she goes, "If it's just a little frame, little face frame." And he goes, "That's what they're calling." I was like, the second that you're in a relationship and your partner doesn't notice, like, a nice thing that you've done for yourself, it's curtains for you.
Or it's just like time you need like extreme.
You need to go see Brittany and Jax's therapist and lock hands in a weird way.
You need to go like
and stare into each other's eyes.
Together.
Yeah. You need to just like, you're going to have to do like a lingam massage. You have to do the Sex and the City episode where they came on Miranda's face. That
was wild. Wild TV.
Back when TV was really just pushing boundaries.
Back when like essentially a sitcom had
come on the face.
One of the main characters
got splooge on her fucking bangs and her mini bangs.
Incredible. And everyone just laughed.
It doesn't get old.
No.
Remember, Samantha went down on a guy and he had funky spunk. This was like the kind of groundbreaking
today that could
thing.
never happen.
No.
I guess
nowadays they're like...
I guess Girls did this, was in similar territory with like the stuff they did. Mm-hmm. But Sex and the City was there first.
God. They walked so we could run.
They walked so we could all
They walked so we could run and they could hobble again and flop.
They walked and got splooge in the face so everyone could become incels. And become mass shooters.
Hilarious escapades. Hilarious escapades in Sex and the City. Mary wants to host a really nice evening for Ted Gibson.
Her gay, she loves her gays.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when have there ever been this many gays on a Housewives franchise?
The gays are really sewn into the fabric, like, and they're treated as like people, which is in this era.
They're additional characters.
Yeah, like OC, they were always like these sad pets that they kept around, and like, you know what I mean. But these
are accomplished gays.
These are accomplished gays that are basically like main characters of the show, and they like all are like they're like their best friends.
Also, like, imagine if Tareq and Michaele hadn't torpedoed the series by crashing the White House, because I was reading more and it was like the FBI started asking Bravo for like footage because they were getting investigated for crashing that White House event, and that's when Bravo was like, we can't do another season because it's just like too messy.
Watching it now though, I'm like, this had potential to be like
it could have been New York level.
Yeah, like they really were laying the groundwork, and it's a shame that this happened because I feel like this would become, you're right, like a classic mainstay housewives.
They could have
franchise.
Also had gays as housewives,
The
which
VC
should have
gays.
happened.
So Mary
Ted and his husband Jason, Paul Wharton. They could have all been like, Ted could have been one, Paul could have been one.
I'm obsessed with Jason.
I love Jason.
So Mary is like, I really want to. Ted is like this amazing hairstylist. He's like a celebrity hairstylist. He's opening a salon. I want to like celebrate him.
And then we get to Charles and Kat talking about the crazily busy schedules.
He goes, oh, so next week I'll be in New York for 5 days shooting Goldman Sachs. I was like, wow. I was like, wait, love that during a recession he's the White House photographer who has to go shoot the people that caused the recession.
But this is probably like a big like
propaganda thing.
PR. It's like they've never let anyone in, but now they're letting me in, so I have to shoot in their offices for 5 days. This is probably like trying to do damage control.
Okay, because she was incredibly bad timing. Won't you, Dad? She goes, won't you? What?
Nothing. I just like your cat voice.
It's incredibly bad timing. 5 days. I'm doing the photo shoot. I need you there. I positively can't do it without you.
Now I'm all alone shooting for inbox full. And
she goes. I've had but 6 hours of sleep a night. I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
She goes, I've been up all night with the girls, raising these 2 fucking horrible things, living. It's like, okay, these aren't his kids.
Yeah, she goes, you're leaving me alone with 2 kids, 3 dogs, and 4 parties to attend all by myself. He goes, well, you could stop partying. He goes, you don't have to go out swanning around. She goes, you're going swanning around on your photo shoot. Meanwhile, I'm here writing inbox full.
I'm here writing my book. I'm almost 2 weeks into the deadline.
And he's like, what the actual fuck? Like, I'm
the White House photographer.
At the peak of my career.
And she goes, okay, chill. You need to chill. Be chill now. Calm down. I'm like, this is not, you can't do this in front of your kids.
Nope. Cracks in the foundation. Doomed.
9 months to go.
Doomed.
Yeah.
Paul meets with his friend. See, Paul's
Charlotte's
doing
publicist.
his own scenes.
Yeah.
This is housewife foundations being set.
I'm also obsessed with Charlotte. So Charlotte, his publicist, which I'm like, that's iconic. Because I'm like, a local DC stylist having a publicist is just everything I need in a reality show. She says that she got a call from the Salahi attorney hours before Paul's big party that they were hosting, saying, I need you to agree in writing that the Salahis are not on the hook for paying for this party, and if you can't produce written statement saying that, then they're not coming.
And so that's why Michaele was not at the
holding
hotel
off.
to glam.
They were literally
They were in a standoff. They were in like a Waco standoff with Bravo.
They were in their limo, like waiting for the call, and then like called in a cop to come escort them. Charlotte was like, I didn't want to say anything because it was your party, and I didn't want to like bum you out, so I kept that to myself. But like, I'm very weirded out by them, and like, it's crazy that their attorney called me. And Paul's like, what the fuck?
It's also crazy that Michaele would be like, I want to host a beautiful party. I'm the host. So, they are not chipping in one red cent.
And he's like, that feels very, disappointing in her as a friend. And she goes, I know it's not her. I feel like it's Tareq.
It's Tareq.
It is. Can you imagine how many humiliations that woman dealt with daily? Like, I know she did it to herself in a lot of ways, but I'm like, that she was smiling through a lot of pain.
Also, I'm just sad that they were such scammers who like screwed the pooch, because I wanted to see
The fallout.
the divorce and like her
escape.
leaving him, the escape. Like she could have had a redemption arc.
Yeah, Bravo got scared, and I get it, because it's like, but
This was when like decorum and Secret Service and CIA actually mattered. It's like, honey, just wait like 10 years. The Homeland Security will be like swarming Jen Shah's house. And you're going to film through the whole thing.
I know.
Like, I think after Trump, things started being like much less precious around this kind of thing.
I think because the ultimate scammer got into the White House. And so it was like a perfect, this is sort of, this was
the pre-Trump.
They were ahead of their time. I think they were a casualty of being too ahead of their time, with like grifters being called out and like discovered on a show. That was back when it was still like uncouth, but no one knew back then that this is the future. Everything is a grift. Erica Jane, everything is
Teresa and
Joe. Everything is about the grift now.
They were the OGs.
So they go to
Stacie and Jason are in Paris, and they meet the Salahis at their nice hotel. And I was getting stressed because not only are they staying at like a really nice hotel, they have $1,000 bottle of Dom Perignon champagne on the like
the terrace.
Yeah.
They look out, and Tareq goes, look, this is the best shop. He goes, best shopping place in the whole world, right here. Best shopping street.
Champs-Élysées.
And Jason's like, wow, Dom, he's like, 1,000 bottle wine. Okay.
We're doing the damn thing.
We're doing this. So they're pre-gaming before the concert.
Michaele goes, here's to another great date. Our friendship grows. Mary calls Paul. Mary's like a wine drunk by herself in pajamas.
Yeah.
Calls Paul, and Paul spills the birthday tea to Mary.
Mary's like this. She's always, her eyes, she has very like deep set eyes. She's always like, wow. Oh my goodness.
She just can't believe.
I'm truly in shock right now, Paul.
Stacie and Jason go to the big concert. Adam's a star.
Yeah, he's really cute. They have like a cute moment, and then he tears it.
Puts on a whole show, has like a backing band. Michaele is like dancing. She's swinging her hair around. You just see her come alive.
It's very Camille at the season 1 when they're in Vegas dancing. And Stacey's like, she's like, I see a part of Michaele I didn't see before.
She likes her.
Yeah, but I think Michaele is like trying to slip. It's almost like she's trying to slip them notes, like, help me. It's like in The Exorcist when the nanny has the priest come in when Reagan's sleeping, and she opens her shirt and it says "help me" scratched into her skin.
Oh my god,
that's literally Michaele.
Tareq is on blow.
They're fucked. They are.
He seems like fucked up.
Yeah, they have like Paris Coke.
They're doing Paris blow, and he's like, "This is the best time of my life."
Yeah, I've never been more happy.
He's like, "We got to do this all the time."
It's so crazy because it was like it was a challenge for him. It wasn't like he wanted to be there. It's like they were sort of kind of politely inviting them, not expecting them to come, but it was like he's like, I'll show them.
But it's also weird because he's so aware of the cameras rolling, and so then I think his mindset is like, if they ask us to go to Paris and we're getting filmed, we're going to say yes. And then we're going to go to Paris and like on camera, like we'll get to film in a nice hotel and I'll get to like perpetuate this. The ruse that we're incredibly wealthy. Meanwhile, like I'm just like switching my credit card debt from like one card to another when we're bankrupt.
Yeah.
Mary having wine again.
Mary always just has like a stemless glass with her.
Talking to her daughter.
Lolly.
No, this is a different daughter, Megan.
Oh.
And they're talking about sexting. Megan is in school, and she had all all hands on deck emergency school meeting where they told the kids about the dangers of sexting.
Wow. Can you imagine? We just had Dare.
Yeah. Mary goes, Megan, sexting? She's, I've always just called it sex texting. She goes, do you know kids that do that? And her daughter's like, I know of people who have done that. I'm not friends with them. She goes, wow. I never would have thought. She's kind of titillated.
Yeah, she goes, I tried to do that with your dad once. And when he was on a business trip and he was out in Chicago at this conference, and I sent him a picture of my nipple. And I said, suck on it. And he said, the next morning, texted me back and said, what? And that was my sexting. And Megan's literally like,
she's like, here, have a glass.
here, let's talk about him more. Let's open a bottle.
Let's have a bottle.
Let's finish this off.
Kat is at a photo shoot for the cover of Inbox Fool.
She's really pissed because the photographer she's not comfortable. She's literally, in this moment, I'm like, this is the most uncharismatic woman ever. Like, she's so insecure. She has all these bags. They're trying to be like, you're a shopping woman, and she's not feeling it because she's like, that's not who I am. I'm not a shopper.
No, I hate shopping. I'm so not the kind of shopping bag girl.
She's gritting her teeth through the shoot.
And she's just standing there. She's standing very stiffly, which is not going to make a good picture. She goes, oh, you want me to walk? Oh, walk from here to okay.
And then lo and behold,
Charles, out of the corner of my eye, Charles is there.
Charles just appears behind, and he's kind of like, ha ha ha, this amateur photographer. He's just kind of watching, and then Kat sees him, and she goes, oh, darling, you're here. Darling.
Charles whisks her to DuPont Circle Station so they can shoot the real cover of Inbox Fool.
And he has her like down in the subway. He goes, I always love this, like a sunken earth, like a different city underground. I'm like, it's the subway, man. And Kat, this actually was a good photo.
It was. She was Miss Leopard in all her leopard glory and Louis Vuitton bags, which I was like, I don't think you're going to be able to put like Louis Vuitton logos on a book cover.
But it was more her. It's like her coming up from the subway with all her luggage and like kind of looking sort of uncertain but brave against this new American world.
And in this moment, her man really did show up for her.
Yeah, you saw there was love. There was love.
She'll always have the Inbox Fool photo shoot.
So then there's like a big...
Meanwhile, in Paris, in old gay Paris, Stacie and Michaele go shopping. Yeah. And they really bond.
They do.
And you find out Stacey's backstory, which is that she's adopted and has been on the hunt for her birth parents. And she found her birth mother, but her birth mother won't tell her who her biological father is. Because he doesn't know that Stacie even exists.
And Michaele goes, wow, I can't even believe this beautiful child that they just wouldn't want to be part of that. And like, it's just so crazy. I can't believe this.
She goes, I love spending time with you. And they just walk.
They do. I think she really likes her.
Yeah.
And Stacie, I think, likes her in like I think Stacie gets her in some way.
They're bonding, and I like to see that.
Yeah.
I like to see them just like vibing, shopping, sharing.
She's not judging Michaele.
No. She's giving her a grace. Mary meets with Ted Gibson and his husband, Jason, in a big hotel room so that all the ladies can glam before the big old dinner.
Mary makes sure that Ted tells her that she's his favorite woman.
Yeah, Ted and the other stylist, or Ted and Jason, tell her all about the Salahis not wanting to pay for Paul's party.
Yeah.
And then Jason stirs the pot even. This is why he needed to be on this show. He says that Tareq came up to a friend's table and said, I hope you're enjoying tonight because I paid a lot of money on this for this party.
And Mary's like, funny that you say that because he didn't pay anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a lawyer call to ensure that they didn't have to pay anything. So that's insane that he's going around lying about spending all the money.
And everyone just talks loads of shit about Michaele, and Lynda sidebars with Jason and they talk about Michaele.
I wanted to be in the suite really bad.
I know, it looked fun.
Just look nice.
I like a pregame gabbing, getting ready before a dinner with people. It was fun.
It was a kiki.
Mm-hmm.
It was a key.
Everyone files into the restaurant for the big Ted Gibson dinner.
There's a woman named Stephanie Green there who's the style columnist for the Washington Times, and she's wearing a
tiny hat.
I was like, okay, Mad Hatter. She did look like a little bit like Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka.
The fashion industry of DC strikes once again.
Yeah.
Lynda sees the Salahis and promptly walks in the other direction. She goes, I don't want to be near their energy fields.
Michaele goes, good to see everyone.
And then at one point they're eating and Lynda turns to Kat about the soup and she goes, this was so divine. And Kat goes, mine was absolutely revolting. Can't muster up one nice thing to say.
No.
I love it.
Lynda gets a little shit tanked.
Whenever these women get shit tanked, they just start committing microaggressions against the nearest black person to them.
Well, Kat says that Lynda goes, Kat is our new soul sister. You're my soul sister. And Kat's like,
Tony. I thought that was a knock on the door. Tony. Tone.
oh, Tone.
Come here. Come here, soul sister.
Hey, soul sister.
So they keep going, you're my soul sister. You're my soul sister. They go, Stacie, they're my soul sisters. And it's like, you guys.
And she goes, and then she says to Stacey's with her friend Erica, who's also a black woman. And Lynda goes, and you can be Diana Ross.
She goes, and if you can sing, you can be Diana Ross.
And Erica looks at her and she goes, wow. She goes, how about that?
Apparently we have a black girl in the group.
And I was like, and then
Erica's had enough.
And then Kat
up and leaves.
She goes, I don't know what Erica's trying. She's so offensive. Positively.
Good God, oh my God.
Good God. So ridiculous. So absurd. I don't know why she said that. She gets up and she's wearing this really confounding.
Like an ostrich.
Boa. She runs outside onto the street and Paul sees her and he gets up and follows her. And Kat's just like, I don't like Erica. She always stirs things into a place of race and I don't think it's fair.
I think she's jealous maybe that I'm making all these connections and with the ladies and I'm not racist in any way.
She goes, I've never been racist. And then
we cut back to the restaurant and Tareq is doing a toast and he goes, I'm sponsoring the South American Polo Cirque du Soleil. I was like, that is not even a thing.
And everyone's like,
Everyone's like, we know that you don't pay your bills.
Yeah. And then
Michaele goes, he talks about Michaele's weight and he goes, what you don't realize about Michaele is that when we got married, she gained 20 pounds in beautiful places.
He goes, she's always eating protein. She's eating steak. She goes, she can eat a whole filet mignon. And Michaele, she's the whole time going, yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Also, she can eat a whole filet. The filet is the leanest cut of meat.
It was insane. Also, Kat, the conversation she has with Paul is, I don't even want to say it because it was insane, but I
was like, Paul, you don't have to do this right now.
Paul really gave her a lot of grace that she did not deserve. And it was, she went to a place where I went, her brand of racism.
They were joking around
But she went to like I was like, whoa.
I was like, do you know him that well that you can make these jokes?
But it was
because he made out with her and he goes, ooh, ooh. He was like faking like he's making out with her and he goes, ooh, interracial love. And I lolled. And then she goes, no, don't touch me. She goes, no, oh my God, you're gay and you're colored. And I was like, ma'am.
It felt like Victorian racism. Like I was like, you know what I mean? It felt like colonial. Like I was truly like, okay, Kat, you need to just zip it. Inbox full.
Her inbox needs to be full.
And Paul just goes, ha ha ha. And I was like, oh. Insane.
I want to say that she was just making
I think she made it. She was
trying to be funny,
but it was like.
But you can't say you can't say colored on TV.
No. And especially and like as a British person, I was just like, bitch, you need to fucking
inbox full.
Inbox full. It's a wild.
Says Michaele is thin because she's with Tareq and he's sucking the life out of her.
She's not wrong.
You're right. When you're right, you're right.
When Lynda's right, she's so right.
And when Lynda's giving modeling feedback, another beast is rearing its head.
Or being microaggressive.
She contains multitudes.
Yeah.
She can be very, very right. She can also
make you want to hide your head.
Make you want to die.
Yeah.
And then she can make you cringe.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I love. That's what I love about these ladies.
That's a DC diva.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a better title?
DC divas? Well, we're in the 3rd episode now.
Okay. District divas?
It's Beltway bitches, unfortunately.
Okay.
I love changing the title.
Kylie Jenner renamed her son after like a year.
Yeah, true. Dolls.
Guys, there's a website called sexuniquepodcast.com, and you can go on and buy tickets to all of our shows except the ones that are sold out, which are New York, Chicago, and Toronto.
But we have late night shows in
New York and Chicago that are selling really fast. They're already like getting up there. They'll be sold out soon. Philly, DC, and Boston.
Let's do the damn thing.
We've got some room, and you know they're selling well, but like especially in my home city of Philly, like I need my Philly heads to like come out for me.
I think they're gonna come out.
Yeah, I'm just saying it.
We're a month out, I think there's a lot of time for people to make the right decision.
It's at the iconic World Cafe Live.
What I do want to say is that in New York and Chicago for our late night shows, you might think, oh, they're just gonna do the same show but late night. You would be sorely mistaken. We're doing a entirely different show. And maybe you might want to double up.
Yeah, if you want to come for both, you might as well just stay, get a little toasted, and
get really toasted. Just spend 6 hours at the
Bell
venue.
House and come to Gowanus with us.
Mm-hmm. Tickets again are at sexuniquepodcast.com, and
let's shout out our Beltway bitches on
Pia from Australia.
Pia.
Alex Delisle. Makeup Fresh. Obviously. Sophie from Cleveland. Emily Vaughn. Castor Jorgensen. Miss Ryan, Mr. Jillian, also from Cleveland. Gina Sapienza. Sarah Elizabeth from Boston. Lucy from London. Brooke Johansson. Lilia Farrell. Rachel Knight. Gerd, Queen of Brooklyn. Brittany Date, Not Weiss. Dilly McMillie. Bridget Wasowski. Lady Swamp, which gives no fucks. Jessica Hernandez. Malzatov Lols. Mary. Katie Sulin. Mike Earhart. Sharon Baum. Realtor. Timothy Shield. Rogue Stanley. Matthew Thomas. Owsley Robinson from Los Angeles. Cheeseburger Bay. Mariah Kay. Kathy West. Kit Moore.
Kit.
Hillary from Chicago.
Hillary from
Orlando. Patron of the Farts.
Arts of Patron.
David from Switzerland.
From David.
Nick Sedaris. Emily. Kim Lucas. Jenny from Minneapolis. Katie the Sup Lawyer.
RJ and Jeffrey.
You guys are really out here.
We love you.
We love to see it.
Love you all.
Bye.